Welcome to my kitchen. I'm Liz with RX Fit, one of the trainers here, and today we're going to be doing a real simple cooking video, talking a little bit about nutrition, what goes behind making the choices that we make before we cook something. And it doesn't have to be complicated, right? It doesn't have to be super in-depth with like all of the nutritional knowledge and everything. We just need to start making better choices so that we can fuel our body for what it is that we need to do. Like last week when we were talking about lifting heavy shit. You need to have fuel in order to do that. So we're gonna start today. We're gonna make, since it's September, and everybody is all on the pumpkin spice latte kick, we are going to be making kind of a fall themed dish, which is basically just a stuffed acorn squash and Brussels sprouts that we'll roast in the oven. So I'll walk you through all of that in just a minute. Brace yourself for a dramatic listing of our ingredients. Quinoa, dried cranberries, ground turkey, acorn squash, green onions, Brussels sprouts.
Oh dear.
Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna prep the acorn squash to go in the oven. I'm gonna cut it in half and scoop out all the guts. So this is very Halloween themed, like if I can do this with, clearly you have to work out to be able to cook this dish because the squash might fight back. Get all the seeds and gunk out of the middle because that is not yummy. But all of this, the flesh all around the outside, it also sounds very cannibalistic to refer to it as flesh, but that's okay. I need the olive oil that you stole from me, or the avocado oil. I'm trying to be so dramatic and cool shots. Just take all my ingredients. I'm oiling the pan so the squash does not stick to it. Squash goes down.
Oh, it goes face down.
It does. If you have a really big squash, sometimes it's nice to poke holes in the top to help the steam come out, but this one isn't gonna explode, so we'll be okay. And I put it in the oven. I have the oven at 400. I tend to like to keep it high for squash because then it doesn't get super soggy, like it'll still have some good texture to it, and then the outside of the skin will get crispy and separate from the meat inside. So it's a little bit easier to eat that way. So right now, we have the turkey browning on the stove back there. I just added salt, pepper, and some garlic powder. We're gonna brown that, make sure that it's in little crumbles because we're gonna be mixing it in with our quinoa to go inside of acorn squash once that's been cooked through a little bit. I am specifically choosing quinoa because it's a little bit higher protein. It's a different choice, right, from something that might be more inflammatory. And that's kind of tying it back to our diet nutrition tenet of RX Fit, right? That we're trying to make better choices overall when we're creating a recipe for ourselves.
So why do we cut in half?
We cut them in half so they'll cook quicker because ain't nobody got time for that. And also because it absorbs the seasonings a little bit better. The outer leaves are tough. The inner ones are a lot softer and so we're gonna use some balsamic vinegar with it, so it'll really soak that up. So we have them all chopped in half. I put some oil in the bottom of this pan. I'm adding some pistachios and balsamic vinegar and salt. And I'm gonna toss them with my hands because I'm a savage. And then we're gonna put them in the oven to roast with the acorn squash. Then we'll bring them back out when they are crispy and brown and delicious. So basically, to sum up, cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, kale, all of those like major vegetables that you hear about when people talk about eating healthy, right? These are key components to a balanced diet that's going to be anti-inflammatory and really to help your body to detox anything that might be causing that inflammation. I'm adding the turkey into the quinoa that we were cooking earlier, right? So, and I also added the mixture of dried cranberries and green onions in there. So this is gonna be the stuffing for our acorn squash whenever those stubborn little buggers are done cooking.
Cool deal.
Here is our finished Brussels sprouts dish, right? It looks pretty damn good.
Cool.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. It's sizzling too, which is very cinematically appealing. Yeah.
So now we can plate and serve?
Now we plate and serve. you liked what you just saw, you felt like you learned something, it was valuable to you, make sure you check out this playlist, or you could like or subscribe somewhere in this general vicinity. You will find the buttons that you need. And I hope to see you again.